Hi friends! I'm really excited to show you all of the books I got over the holiday season, so it is time for the first book haul of 2024. My brother had the wonderful idea of exchanging only books this year. He was trying to kind of declutter, and it worked in my favor because our entire Christmas was just a book exchange and I loved it. I'm going to be showing off my book as well as some of my boyfriend's books. While I was buying books for my family, I also obviously picked up some for myself. First up, I got this beautiful set of 6 Crimson Cranes and The Dragon's Promise. I love the art on these. The color palette is beautiful. The way they line up, gorgeous. I'm definitely going to be displaying these. I have a new bookshelf in my office that I have not put together yet, but these are going to be on display. If you display books kind of facing out, how do you prop up the paperbacks? That is what I want to know. Or should I do I need to buy something to help them stay up and not kind of get bent or fall over? How do y'all do that? Okay, my boyfriend got me several books, starting with Cassandra Clare's Sword Catcher. Very beautiful cover. Do have a confession. I have never read Cassandra Clare. I feel like she is well-known and beloved author, and I just never picked up any of her books, but this one sounds like a really cool premise. It does have royals, which is a trope I love. Follows a sword catcher who is a body double kind of for the prince and is basically destined to die for the prince, and a girl who has magic powers of healing, and they're kind of thrown together and forced to work with each other. And I can only assume it will lead to love. I have no idea if this is a series or a standalone, but it sounds like a great premise, and it's absolutely stunning. So very excited to be picking this up. My brother and sister-in-law got me In These Hallowed Halls, which I've never heard of, but it is a collection of dark academia short stories. Perfect. I'm very excited about these. Olivia Blake's name is right there on the cover. A lot of the other authors I don't recognize, but another beautiful book with gold foiling, and just so excited to be picking these up. This is one we bought as we were shopping for other people, The Shadow of Perseus. It is about 3 women leads in the life of Perseus and how they're affected. I think Medusa is one of the women in the story, Andromeda, and maybe Diana. Danae, Medusa, and Andromeda. So his mother, his trophy, and his wife is what the book says. And kind of how they're in the shadow of him, but the story views his journey through their eyes. I really love a similar book that I read about women in Shakespeare stories. And so it really has me excited about this find. My dad got me Strange the Dreamer off my list. This is a book that I have heard so many people talk about and always kind of had on the back of my mind, but just never picked it up for myself. And so I threw it on my wish list, and I'm so excited. It is a duology. I don't actually know much about it. I know there is a kind of very whimsical feel to these 2 books, and people either really liked the writing style and the kind of free form of it, or they didn't. It's kind of the vibe I was picking up, so I'm very interested to see. But a few people that I feel like have similar reading tastes to me did enjoy this book, so I am hopeful. Another edition set that I was so excited to receive are these 3: Shadow of the Fox, the second book, Soul of the Sword, and the book I'm going to be reading this month, actually, Night of the Dragon. This is a trilogy about a kitsune. These are the UK covers, and I just thought they were absolutely gorgeous with this art style, especially this blue one. I loved the first 2 books. I'm excited to read the 3rd book in this series, and owning it physically instead of reading it on audiobook will make it even better. And they will be a gorgeous addition to these rainbow shelves. Okay, and another book my boyfriend got me is After the Forest, which has such an intense cover. This is a fairy tale. I don't know if it's not a retelling, but it follows Hansel and Gretel years past their misadventure in the forest, and they're struggling. There's been a brutal war. Everybody's starving, and Greta finds a recipe in the witch's house and starts to make gingerbread for everybody, and that gingerbread is very addictive. There's a lot of dark magic. There's a lot of secrets. Sounds like it's going to be a very dark book. And I think this kind of illustration definitely lends itself towards grim fairy tale vibes. He also got me this really cool edition of Fourth Wing with the sprayed edges. I read this on audiobook and really enjoyed it. I don't know that I'll ever pick up book 2, to be honest. Because of what I've been hearing about it, it just doesn't sound like there was as much thought put into it. We'll see how the rest of the series goes because I've heard it's supposed to be 5 books. But I love this cover. I love the beautiful black sprayed edges. I do not have enough books on my shelf with sprayed edges, so that's a goal. But then how do you show that off? You know what I mean? Okay, I can't remember if I showed this one off in my last haul, but I did buy for myself The Art of Prophecy. I love the cover art on this one as well, and I've heard good things about it. It is a trilogy, from what I understand, about a prophecy gone wrong. I truly, prophecy is not one of my main tropes. I could take it or leave it, but the idea of a prophecy going wrong just sounds a little bit more intriguing than your average story. And the fact that I have heard good things made me want to pick it up a little bit more than I may have otherwise. I also got some poetry, a poetry collection for Christmas from my boyfriend's family. I have Beautiful Sad Eyes and Weary Waiting for Love. It comes in a box set and it says, Beautiful Sad Eyes explores the romance of melancholy. Weary Waiting for Love shines light on the resilience of optimism and peace. So I'm really excited. I don't have a lot of poetry on my shelves. Lastly, I did get a copy of Legends and Lattes, another audiobook I read and loved and wanted to own for myself. I have not picked up book 2, but I am excited to. I'm not very good at picking up new releases because I have so many books on my shelf that I want to read and prioritize, and between that and the series I'm trying to finish, I just don't get to new books very often outside of audiobooks. So I may end up listening to book 2 on audiobook as well, but I'm happy to have this one on my shelf. All right, a little bit more quickly, I am going to go through some of the books my boyfriend got because he has some cool options. He's definitely got a lot of Warhammer and Orc books, so I don't know as much about them. But I got him Orconomics. This is a book I heard about on Daniel Green's channel, and I was like, okay, perfect. Thank you for the recommendation. He really enjoyed this. He said it was a fun read, so I got it for him. But I also got him Brutal Cunnin. His main Warhammer army is an Orc army. This had an epic cover, so I don't know anything about the actual book, but again, knew it was Orc related, so picked it up for him. He found and picked up Never Whistle at Night. This is a book of indigenous fairy tale folklore, legends and myths. So it is a collection of a few short stories, an anthology of those tales that are kind of passed down, and also has a beautiful cover. Okay, he also found Reluctant Immortals. This is about 2 women, Rachel and Beth, who survived Dracula and are now immortal. They're living in LA in the 1960s when Dracula makes a return. He got Starstruck, which is a graphic novel that he had read before, so he picked this up. I think this looks really cool. Don't know much about it, but it does have a very early day graphic novel kind of feel. Diceman. Don't know anything about this, but he got it. And then some art inspiration, The Art of Darkness. This has a lot of cool kind of grim art in it. And I think that might be it for him. I'm not sure where his other ones are, but here is just a few of the beautiful books that I got over the holiday. I hope you added some to your collection recently because everybody needs more books. I hope you have a great day. I will see you later. Bye, friends.